Hello y'all. Welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs and More. We're not in the garden today though. We're in Gail's kitchen. Vickie from Vickie's Country Home tagged me in making a pie for the pie collaboration. So I wanted to do a pie. You have got to go check that out. I will put some links down below, but there is a whole group of them that you can go through and pick any pie imaginable. Thankfully, I haven't found the one that I was going to do yet. It's a little different. Probably, I don't know. I've never known anybody else that made this pie until I ran into the Smarts. And Kyle told me it was what he had when he grew up. But for his birthday, he would rather have what's called an ice cream pie than a cake. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make an ice cream pie. Now, it sounds different. You don't scoop the ice cream out and put it on there. You are going to use ice cream, but it's just a little different. It's really yummy. I think it's the best the first couple days. After that, it's okay. You can eat it, but the best flavor for some reason for this pie is the first day or two. Couple days. The first couple days, it's pretty good. So, I'm going to make the graham cracker crust. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some graham crackers in my machine. I'm going to crumple it up and run them until they're real good and all crumbled out. I'm going to melt some butter and put it in my pie pan. And what I did was, this is a new one that I got, and it's a deep dish. And I wanted to see where it was going to come to trying to think how to do my pie crust, my graham cracker pie crust on it. So I knew that I'm going to have 2 cups of ice cream and 2 cups of the Jello. So I figure right around 4 cups. There'll be a little more area taken from the crust itself as well. And I poured the water into the pan to see where it came up to get an idea. So if you have a pan and you're not sure where it's going to come to, that's something that you can do for that. So I've got that kind of figured out. Now I'm going to make up my graham cracker pie crust. And then what I'm going to do once I get the butter melted, put it in here, put the crumbs in here, and push it around with your fingers and get it all up around the sides and the bottom evenly. I'm going to bake it. I forgot to do that the last time I made this pie. And it still tasted good, but just not quite the same. It's a little mushier. It doesn't come out quite as crunchy and stay quite as well when you pour the mixture in. So make sure you bake it. If you don't throw the pie out. It still tastes good, just not as good. So anyway, I'm going to get started on that and I'll be right back. Okay, I have this all crumbled up pretty fine. Take a look in there and you can see. I also have my butter melted here. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in here. I have a little extra if I need to moisten it a little more. I'm going to put my crumbs in there, and we're going to try to get this. Let me put this down a little more. We're going to try to get this made the way it should. This thing undone. Let's pour our crumbs in here. Okay, my hands are clean. So I'm going to just pat this out. I'm going to keep working on this until I get it patted out pretty good. I may need to, I used 1 package of graham crackers. I may need a little more to make this more, because it is a deep dish, so it may take just a little bit more than 1 package. So while I work on that, I'll be right back. Well, what do you all think? I didn't add any more. I think 1 package, and usually 1 package does it. So I'm going to go ahead. It's not quite to the top, and my mixture may come a little bit above that. I don't think so. It's going to be pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven and bake it for just a few minutes to kind of crisp it up a little bit. And we shall return for the filling. Hey y'all, okay. This is a large box of strawberry Jello. So I find strawberries good, and then you're going to use a vanilla ice cream as well. I will put the recipe down below in the description as well, so you would have that. Anyway, I don't usually use this kind of Jello. I usually get gelatin and mix it with fruit juice and make my own Jello type of thing if I'm going to do a Jello. I don't do a lot of Jellos, but actually gelatin's really good for you. But this time I'm going to go ahead and use this because this is what Kyle is used to, and this particular pie is his pie, so this is what I'm going to use. But at least this one doesn't have any artificial sweeteners. It has no high fructose corn syrup, which is really, really bad for you, so I'm glad about that. So this is what we're going to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 cups of water in my pan and get it boiling. And then I'm going to pour this into the boiling water, and then I can turn it off and stir and stir and stir. But the reason for this is you really need to get this dissolved well. If it's not dissolved well, it makes this rubbery thing on the bottom of your pie. The upper part tastes good, but the rubbery part feels kind of funny in your mouth, and it kind of ruins the pie. I mean, it's edible, but not really. I mean, you want to scrape off that rubbery piece. And there's my crust. I'll have to check. I hear it beeping at me. So anyway, you really want to make sure this is dissolved well. So once my 2 cups of water are boiling, I'm going to pour it into that and just stir and stir and stir. Once I get that all done, then I'll come back with you because I'm sure you've seen people stirring stuff in a pot. I may show you a little bit of it. But here we go. Now you want to have some ice cream ready to go. You want a vanilla ice cream. I'm just using a Breyers. It's made with fresh cream, sugar, and milk. As I like to use as basic ingredients as I can with not a lot of extra stuff in it, because extra stuff is usually not good for you. You don't want a whole bunch of emulsifiers and flavorings and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm using, just a vanilla ice cream. You're going to need 2 cups of this. So you want to have that kind of loosened up and not too hard, ready to scoop. What you're going to do once you get your Jello all mixed into your boiling water and it's all dissolved really, really well, then you're going to put your 2 cups of ice cream in and stir it all together. And actually that ice cream is going to cool it down really fast. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take that's all you need. This is a very simple pie. You're going to very slowly pour it into the graham cracker crust. You don't want to just take the pan and pour it in there because it'll part the graham cracker crumbs, kind of like when God parted the Red Sea, and you don't want to do that. So you pour it in real slow into the graham cracker crust until it gets up there, and then you're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it set. As far as how long to bake your graham cracker crust, that's going to depend on your oven. I'm not using my big propane oven. At the moment, they turned our electricity back on last night. They're back and forth all the time. They said it's going to be this way for at least 10 years, maybe forever. Who knows? But anyway, I could comment on that, but I won't. I'm waiting for my water to boil here in the pan. But they turned the electric back on, so I'm using my little electric oven over there. It's a convection oven or a regular either. I just love that thing. It's great because you can turn it on so many. It can be a toaster, a convection oven, or a regular oven. It's got all kinds of settings, one for popcorn and this and that. I mean, it's a great little oven. I just love it. I've had it for probably at least a year, maybe 2. But as far as how long, you're just going to have to check it. It depends on the oven you're using, and everybody's ovens are a little bit different. You just want it toasted lightly, and then you're going to pour your stuff into it. Okay, looks like my water's coming to a boil. I'm going to pour my large package of strawberry Jello into the boiling water, and I'm going to stir. And I'm going to stir. I've still got the fire under it. I want to make sure it's good and dissolved. Now, you will have sometimes the Jello separates and makes a layer underneath this fluffy cream stuff on top. as it sets a little bit, that's okay. You just don't want the rubbery layer from some of it not being dissolved. So, but if you do see some separation, you have a very small layer of strawberry jello and then the creamy pink fluff on top, that's fine. And you can put topping on it, like whipped cream, and maybe slice some strawberries, or Kyle's doesn't usually put the whipped cream on it. I might put a little bit of whipped cream on it just to decorate it, and he won't mind. He eats whipped cream on other things, but it's kind of a sentimental thing for him too, so I usually don't put the whipped cream on it. I just try to make it as much like his mama as I can. But anyway, I'm going to stir this for a bit and make sure I'm going to turn the fire off and just keep stirring on it. Okay, I think I have it pretty well dissolved, that Jello dissolved in there. Now I'm going to put my 2 cups of ice cream in here. I'm going to get that pushed down in there with my spoon, and then I'm going to take the whip and make sure I've got all the little pieces done. I should have let that ice cream thaw a little bit more. And my graham cracker crust, let me show you that. It toasted up. I probably had it in there about maybe close to 7 minutes. And it toasted pretty good. It really makes the kitchen smell good too. Okay, so this takes a few minutes to kind of get this to melt in here, and then I'm going to take my little whipper and give it a good spanking. No, I'm going to whip it pretty good, and just to make sure it's good and whipped, and then we'll pour it in very carefully into the graham cracker. Okay, I think I've got this mixed, the ice cream and the Jello, the melted Jello. I think I've got it mixed pretty good. What I'm going to do, instead of just pouring it from here into there, I'm going to pour 2 cups into my measuring cup and slowly pour it in here, and then I'll pour the other 2 cups and finish putting it into the pie crust very slowly. Okay, here we go. It's not too bad. The crust set for just a couple minutes while I was mixing that together, and it seems to be few little pieces breaking off into it, but I'm trying to very carefully get this poured in there. Okay, now I think I can go a little faster. Okay, this cools off. I mean, I'm handling this pan with no problem. When you put that ice cream into that hot Jello, it cools really fast. Okay. Yeah, it's going to come right up to barely across the top, which when it sets, it won't matter. When you cut it, it'll cut nice. So all I have to do now is put this in the refrigerator for a few hours. Now, I'm going to let it set here a minute because the pie pan itself is still hot from the baking the graham cracker crust. So I'll let it set here just a few minutes to cool a little. I'll put it in the refrigerator, and then I'll try to get a picture of it once it cools and sets for you to finish off the video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, Vickie, thank you, Vickie, from Vickie's Country Home, for tagging me on this. And it's at the end of the month, so I don't think I'm supposed to tag anybody else. It was just supposed to be for the month of October, from what I understand. So mine will be one of the last pies, I would imagine, on there. It's different. There's a lot of different kinds of pies out there. Now, this is really, really good. Like I said, you can do a lot of different things in decorating it once it sets. You know, it's not going to look much different than that. I think what I might do, if I have a chance to take another shot of it, I'll show you. But I think I might take some whipped cream and just kind of make some curly cues around the outside. I don't have any strawberries, or I might slice up some strawberries on it. But it's a strawberry ice cream pie. And I hope you all give it a try. It's really, really good. It's simple. It's really simple. You just have to be careful about a couple things. That you bake the crust. Careful pouring it in slow. I mean, it's really easy, it's quick, and it's yummy. So, God bless y'all and have a good day.